Good morning, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen here, Hemp Hemp Hooray. We have Weed Weeds Day today at noon, and I'm relaxing through it all. Made it through the third night of Hanukkah. I'm going to get some presents in the mail today. and just keep hydrated, everybody. Hmm. It's a beautiful thing to stay hydrated, and um, I have my little rub rock here. It's a crystal, but it feels really good in the hand when you take the portion that's dipped here, and you just hold it. You know, when you live alone, you should have an eye watch, which I don't wear all the time, or an alert button because I did faint this year and woke up on my bathroom floor. So I didn't hit the sink, thank God. But it was weird, and I went to the emergency room and got checked out. But today we want to tell you about Mary Jane. Okay, so Mary Jane is it a weed slang or what? So if somebody says they're meeting up with their friend Mary Jane after work, they may not be talking about a person. Many stories use Mary Jane as a code for cannabis, though not for everyone. Mary Jane's origin. So Mary Jane derives from the Spanish word marijuana. Due to their similar pronunciations, the term was primarily used to discuss cannabis sneakily, such as around the coworkers or on the radio. Today, people use Mary Jane to refer to anything cannabis in terms of flowers, buds, or other variations. Include Mary Warner, Mary Weaver, and Aunt Mary. So, Mary Jane and marijuana. Interestingly, the word marijuana may have derived from a similar name, Mara, and then Wana. This name originated from different non native plants called marajun and marguan, which may have had a similar psychoactive effects through the word through the words origin. Uncertain nicknames such as Mary Jane and marijuana, marijuana, two words, are ingrained in the cannabis culture. Yes, I agree. Mary Jane, my girlfriend. um, that said, many experts agree that it is time to move past such terms as marijuana outside of their intended context when outside of the Spanish language, marijuana often has racist connotations. That's what it says here. Connected to the cannabis industry or the war on drugs, or as some of us say, the war on people. So I'm still rubbing my beautiful crystal stone, got from Jill. And so here we go. On the other hand, the term Mary Jane still appears to be acceptable slang for cannabis. This may be because the term was rarely used to stigmatize cannabis and has various popular uses separate from the original word. Nevertheless, it's important to stay updated on what slang might reinforce harmful stereotypes as we learn more about the unconscious cannabis stigmas. Mary Jane, the origin, challenging to the point, consideration, purpose of the nickname was to be discreet. However, it was popularized in the 60s and 70s by a couple of hit songs that you may be familiar with these popular uses, both or other most recent. Now, most of you know that I worked with Stash Wagner, who wrote Don't Bogart That Joint. So he coined the word Bogart from Humphrey Bogart, because Humphrey Bogart was always smoking on a fag and never, passing it over to me. So Janis Joplin, Mary Jane, originally recorded in 1965. This song is about spending all your money on one thing. So that's cool. Rick James, Mary Jane, released in 1978. So the first one, Janis, was 1965. Okay, and this song is about spending all your money on one thing. Rick James, Mary Jane, released in 1978. 1978. That's like 50 years ago. 78, 88, 98, 108. 118, yeah, almost 50 years. So it says that Rick James was tongue in cheek from Come and Get It and sings about it, a girl named Mary Jane who takes the singer to paradise when he's feeling low. A hip hop holiday song by Redman featuring Snoop Dogg and Nate Dogg. Who's Nate Dogg, everybody? So, Scooby Doo 2002, a character named Mary Jane appears throughout the movie as Shaggy's romantic interest, leading to the line, like that is my favorite name, Shaggy, Scooby Doo. What? So other slangs you must know: grass, ganja, 420. So grass, the slang can refer to many cannabis products such as joints, eighths, simply has become greener. Smaller terms include asparagus, green tea, bush, and of course weed. Ganja in the Hindu, Urdu, gamja, can describe a hemp plant's leaves, hemp cellar, or the act of smoking it. 420 celebration, April 20th, or a day at 420. This code word was used by students in the 70s who planned to get together and smoke. So there was an episode on Weed Weeds Day, I think, that I told the whole story of the 420 guys. Maybe I should find them and do a movie about them. That would be freaking cool. So come and get your love. So let's see, high quality, find high quality Mary Jane here and there. So let's see if I go back to Janis Joplin. There was a link there. Let's see, Mary Jane, Janis Joplin here recorded the song, top seller, Okay, no, I'm not gonna play that song because I'll get busted on by the robots. But let's see here. Weed culture, cannabis followers, others. I'm looking for a link that I wanted to link on, but I'm going to read you the actual story on Mary Jane. At 57, she was arrested for the first time. The police found 18 pounds of marijuana in her apartment, and they found 54 dozen cannabis brownies cooling on her kitchen counter. They found grandmother. Wait, let's do this. Let's go to my app and let's see if we can. Let's see if we can get a options. Ecam. So we're going to go Mary Jane. We're going to go Mary Jane. And we're going to go size 36 and go boom. So we're talking about Mary Jane here. So Mary Jane. Let's put Mary Jane up next to Mary Jane. So, yes, I'm going to keep reading about Mary Jane and her brownies. They found a grandmother who had been baking 600 brownies a day and found her retirement to fund her retirement. Her name was Mary Jane Rathbun. Rathbun. And she told the officers, I thought you guys were coming. This was 1981, the year the CDC first used the term AIDS. Mary was sentenced to 500 hours of community service. The judge probably thought he was punishing her. Instead, he changed the course of medical marijuana history in America. Because Mary Jane completed 500 hours in just 60 days, she volunteered at the Shanti Project, working with people dying of a disease most Americans refuse to acknowledge. She volunteered at a San Francisco General Hospital in overcrowded AIDS wards, and there have been hospital staff there afraid to enter. And Mary noticed something the doctors weren't seeing. Her brownies helped. They eased the nausea. They brought back appetite. They gave dying men a few hours of relief when nothing else could. So Mary Jane made a decision, and delicious. She stopped selling her brownies. She started giving them away for free to every AIDS patient who needed them. She called them my kids. She lost her only daughter, Peggy, in an accident in 1974. Peggy was 22. And now Mary was surrounded by young men in their 20s dying by the thousands. While the government looked away and families abandoned them, she adopted the entire community. By the mid 80s, Mary Jane was baking 600 brownies a day. She used her Social Security checks to buy the ingredients. Cannabis growers donated pounds of marijuana to her cause, and she'd pull names from a jar because she couldn't keep up with the demand. At 65, she became a volunteer of the year at San Francisco's General Hospital. At 70, she was arrested again, and by the time she was facing a felony charge that could send her to prison for 5 years. The prosecutor whispered he was going to kick this old lady's ass. Remember 321. That's weed, that's peace, and that's F Schedule 1. We're not going to talk about Schedule 3. The prosecutor whispered, kick this old lady's ass. But then Mary Jane Rathbun had become Brownie Mary, and she was international hero. Patients testified that brownies saved their lives. Doctors confirmed what she said. Known for years, cannabis was medicine. The judge dismissed all charges. Hip hip hooray! So they, on the same day she appeared in court, the San Francisco Board of Supervisors declared August 25th Brownie Mary Day. They still celebrate it today. Mary didn't stop there. She testified before the Board of Supervisors and the medical value of cannabis. She helped pass the San Francisco Proposition P in 1991, which urged California to legalize marijuana. She co founded the San Francisco Cannabis Buyers Club with Dennis Perrone. The first medical cannabis dispensary in the United States. I didn't know that, but that was in Cali. That's where Jack had me fly up the initiative to the Sacramento, uh, the Sacramento State capital to make hemp legal in 1995. So let's see. So in 1996, California passed Proposition 2015. I guess that was 1996. That was me. Legalization medical marijuana statewide. The Economist credited Mary Jane Rathbun's direct action as the primary reason for the change in the public opinion. California became the first state to legalize medical marijuana. 32 other states followed. The movement that began with Grandmother's Kitchen and the Grandmother's Love transformed America drug policy. Let's change it now, everybody. So, Mary Jane had a favorite quote, when reporters asked her if she'd ever stop. She said, "If the narcs think I'm going to stop baking brownies for my kids with AIDS, they can fuck themselves in Macy's window." She, I want to meet Mary Jane. Is she still alive? Mary had a favorite quote, right? Baking brownies for my kids. She never did reveal the brownie recipe. She told the New York Times, when and if they legalize it, I'll sell my brownie recipe to Betty Crocker or Duncan Hines and take the profits and buy an old Victorian for my kids with AIDS. Mary Jane Rathbun died on April 10th, 1999. Okay, that answers that. So, she never got to buy the Victorian house, but her legacy built something bigger, a foundation of compassion that changed the law. 10 states have fully legalized marijuana, recreational. 33 states have legalized it for medical, and millions of patients have legal access to the medicine Mary risked her freedom to provide. Her lawyer, Larry Bittner, said, "Brownie Mary was a hero of our time in a world with few heroes." Rest in peace, Rob Reiner. But Mary herself and Rob's wife. But Mary herself never saw it that way. She told Chicago Tribune in 1993, "I didn't go into this thinking I would be a hero." She went into it thinking about her kids, the ones in society that society had abandoned, the ones dying alone in the hospital, words, while Americans pretended not to see. Mary saw them. She fed them. She fought for them. She risked everything for them, because that was what love does. And sometimes love is brave enough and loud enough and stubborn enough, it changes history. Every August 25th, San Francisco remembers Brownie Mary, but we should remember her every time someone is standing up for the powerless. Every time we see somebody breaking unjust rules to serve human dignity. Every time we see an ordinary person doing extraordinary things to simply because it's right. Mary Jane Rathbun proved that you don't need power to change the world. You need some brownies and courage and heart that refuses to look away. Mary Jane, what the heck? Mary Jane is pretty cool. So I'll come back to you here. So it's me, Jeff Hyken here, and I'm gonna get my day going, and I got a show in a few hours, and just remember to rub your stone, your favorite stone. Take care of your beautiful legacy. And today's episode here is Mary Jane. It's episode 290 today, and that's pretty good. Pretty good. They called me to go back to Peru to teach photo workshops. So I'm contemplating all of that. Send us some Joe on at here. I'll give you my address here. Boom. relieffoundation.org. So that is me in the middle, that right there. So today we hung out with Mary Jane, and Mary Jane's cool in school. Take care of yourself. Take care of your beautiful humans that are in your life. Don't stab your mom and dad. Amazing. The life and times of children right now, and of guns. So be positive in a manner that we can just kick the ass of those that don't believe in grass. There you go. So that's all I got for you. Back to Weeds Day. It's Jeff Eichen in the morning of my show. I can't wait to see who pops in. And we'll show you a little bit about what our dream is for the future. Peace out. Remember, 3, weed. 2, peace. F schedule 1. 3, 2, 1.